All right, thank you for tuning in. This is in regards to myself. I'm your host, Jesus Ruiz. Joining me today is none other than Danny Connor. Although he goes by Victor Connor, I know him personally by Danny, and he's given me the permission to call him that. I don't know how it works with you, but
Friends only, so you're good. You're
okay,
good.
yeah, it's kind of similar with me too. Like in high school, I went by Jesse, and then it wasn't until I started working like at retail that they started calling me Jesus. And then it took me a couple like years to really kind of embrace it. Because at first I didn't identify with it, you know. So
I can relate. I can
Yeah.
definitely relate to that.
for sure. So Victor Connor, you work at iRealty. You're a real estate agent. Are you're a broker as well?
No. I'm a realtor. I'm
Just a realtor,
Yeah.
but you do market analysis, property estimates, and also notary publics.
Yeah, that's something that I do also. So I'm your neighborhood realtor. That's one of the things that I do. What are the market analysis is when you contact the client or a client contacts you and they want to know what their house is worth, and then you do a couple, you check the comps, which is comparables in the area, and then you basically, depending on what the house has, I mean, depending on upgrades or anything that you spent extra on it, and you try to come up with a price and you make it work.
Do you charge for those kind of services?
It's free. It's all free. I know that some people do charge, but it's all free. At least for me,
Okay.
you know.
So I kind of want to like jump in and kind of like say a few things about you. So like, I've known you since I was 18, like, and I'm 28 now, so 10 years. So, but when I get to know somebody, I take pride in being able to say that I have a pretty good radar in identifying the kind of person that I want to associate myself with. Prime example being yourself, and my videographer. I tend to gravitate to those types of people, and like I said, I feel like I have a pretty good radar. I feel like I can tell when somebody's being genuine, somebody's being authentic, and I feel like I can tell when somebody's being fake, right? Sometimes I've been proven wrong, sometimes like where I thought I might not like that person, but I do end up liking that person. But from the very moment I've met you, bro, you've always been super respectful, super humble, just overall a good dude. And that's pretty hard to find nowadays, right? But, aside from that, you're not only my friend, you're my mentor. I mean, you taught me how to sell from the beginning. I may not have been good at it, but eventually I got better.
Good.
I was all right.
Yeah.
I was a shy guy. I was still a shy guy. But you're also a brother to me.
Appreciate that.
You know my wife. You've known her for years.
Yeah.
So, like, that's one of the reasons why I brought you on this show.
I appreciate that.
Like I said in the first episode, the point of this show is to show our local talent, especially those that are people of color. You're biracial.
Yeah.
You're half Mexican, half black, which is, pretty badass.
Some people don't know that. They always ask me like, "Well, what are you? You Cuban or you Dominican?"
Bro, when I heard you speak Spanish
Yeah.
the first time, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, dude, this guy speaks better than I do.
I get that a lot. They're like, "But what are you?" So it's like, I mean, when I look at myself, I mean, I would think if I had a guess, I'd be like, well, he has to be half Mexican, half black.
Well, before, if I hadn't heard you speak Spanish, I would just say you were
I'm
black.
Yeah. Cause the hair.
I mean, I don't. Does that sound bad?
No.
Okay,
It doesn't. It
okay.
doesn't.
I
At
don't
all.
want that to be like
You're
that.
my friends. I'm joking.
hey.
Let me keep it a little
Hey,
bit more
all right,
serious
cool.
for you.
No, it's cool. I like it, dude. Where are you from, and how old are you? What else can you tell us about you?
I'm from El Centro. Well, actually, I was born in Brawley. I've lived in Heber for all my life. I'm 30 years old. I'm gonna be 31 in July. I come from a really close-knit family, Christian all the way. Like my father was a pastor, so I've come from a Christian home. So you can only imagine.
Yeah. My wife comes from a Christian home, so.
Oh, okay. So you know.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
We were always taught to help others. That's one of my biggest things. And
Amen, bro.
yeah, no, dude. And I mean,
reals.
it's one of the biggest values. I feel like nowadays people don't want to help anyone. They want to bring people down, and that's what I'm about is about helping others, and that's how I was taught from a very young age. Yeah. I mean, I would say it's because of where I come from, I guess. The Christian background. I mean, and I'm talking about hardcore Christian. Like,
Right.
we weren't allowed to listen to certain music,
No alcohol.
no alcohol. I mean, we couldn't. I mean, watch certain shows. Like,
Yeah.
it was strict.
Okay.
But you know what? I appreciate it because once I got to like high school, I mean, my mother wasn't that strict. She would let me go out and stuff, and I was the guy or the friend that would always either drive or I wouldn't drink, so I was always the DD, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I used to be friends with anyone and everyone. I didn't care what you did or who you were. So
I mean, like, I feel like I'm very similar. That's
Yeah.
why I feel like we connected. Like, I feel that you have a good head on your shoulders, and that comes from you're being raised the way you were raised. I didn't grow up in a necessarily Christian household, but I did grow up in a household that put God first for sure. I went through several different like religions, I guess you could say.
they gotta find you.
Yeah, at least my parents, right? But yeah, I think that having their guidance has shown me the same things as you. Put helping others,
Yeah.
being respectful, being humble, just not being a shitty person, and that's, and a lot of times we, especially with the way things are now, there's a lot of greed, right? Everybody's like, I'm trying to get mine. And that's the kind of mentality that I get it, but at the same time, like, we're like kind of dehumanizing ourselves, our feelings and stuff. And I go through that, and I'm sure you go through that.
Yeah.
So it's all like it's vibes, it's all about vibes. Every interaction that we, when we come into contact with somebody, which kind of ties into what you do, right? You're a real estate agent, but aside from that, people that may not know, I'm sure a lot of people do though, is that you come from a retail background.
Yeah.
And clearly though, you're one of the best salesmen. And I'm not just saying that just because you're my friend. I've literally seen it in action.
Appreciate that.
Is when I worked at Guess. I've seen it. I've seen how well you've dealt with customers, the type of respect, and it's translated into your real estate
Of
career.
course.
So I mean, how do you keep level-headed, and stay and focused on your goals, especially through all this like mess that we're in right now?
Okay, so one of the things is that when you love what you do, you find ways to get better at it and do what makes you happy. So I'm working in a place that makes me happy. So helping a client find a home makes me happy. Being able to help them reach that dream, because it's a dream for a lot of people, that makes me happy. So I think the reason why I'm at where I'm at, and I'm not stressing, or I'm not, because I'm doing what I love. I'm not doing what someone else loves, and that's the problem with a lot of people. They see something working great for someone, and they try to do it.
Damn, dude, you jumped me on that one because I wanted to touch. No, it's all right.
Oh, my
it's
bad.
okay. It's all good.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the way. Hey, just keep flowing, but continue on that because that's a point that I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue.
So I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, on the daily, I get asked, "Hey, so how do I do this, or how do you do it?" And a lot of people don't know, and some do. I mean, I do come from a retail background. One of the main things or my specialties is clienteling. Like,
yeah.
everyone knows that if you make the client feel good, if you tell them what they want, well, not what they want to hear, if you listen to them and you give them what they tell you, then you're going to be able to close the deal. So if you tell me you want a blue house with a red door, don't give me a black house with a green door.
Okay.
Give them exactly what you want. And I mean, one of the things that I'm great at is, like I said, clienteling, but I listen. So the fact that I'm able to listen and then I execute what it is that they're looking for, it just comes easy, so.
And it seems like whenever I've dealt with other agents, they always want to push their agenda on me. And when I spoke to you, what was it, like a few months back, maybe last year? It was last year. Yeah, we spoke. You came over. Me and my wife talked to you, and we kind of voiced what our plan was to do, and you kind of listened. You're like, okay, but you you were straight with us. Like, hey, this is how it's gonna be. Like, I'm not screwing you. You showed me the numbers. You're like, hey, but that, like, I mean. And like I said, in a day and age of greed, how do you stick to that, man?
Bro, like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I love what I do, and I don't do it for the money. This is the thing. People do it for the money. Those are the realtors.
There's a lot of money to be made, right?
Yeah, there is, but those are the realtors that are not successful. Like,
Okay.
I'm going on my third year, and I've happened to be in the top 10 realtors of the Home Pro Valley.
man.
Yeah, for the third year in a row. Like,
man,
dude,
right there.
I mean, I can almost guarantee you, and I don't like to talk about it because I don't like to brag, But
Hey, brag all you want, bro.
no, I don't know. It's about myself right now, right?
Yeah, it is.
You can ask any realtor, and I can, and then, I mean, I can actually verify the numbers if you want, and I can guarantee you that no realtor on their first year has done 30 houses or more. Not one of them. And I mean, at least here in the Valley, and maybe it's somewhere else, but here in the Valley,
Right.
I've been blessed enough to be able to help, over 30 people my first year, and it's only been increasing every year, and being part of the top 10. And I'm new, and even these veterans, they're like, how long have you been doing this? Like, I've been doing this for 3 years. No, how? I mean, I'm a writer, man. I like to, you know, I'm addicted to growth, like to succeed. Like, I'm the type of guy that can't be put down. And if I am down, I'm gonna find a way to get better. I'm eager to find success at any means necessary, and that's who I am. People wait. I'm not a waiter. I'm a go-getter, and that's who I am, and I'm eager for growth. That's my thing. Eager to learn. I want to know more. I mean, I read a lot because I want to know more. I feel like, I never want to be the guy that stays complacent or stays in the same spot. Even if make a goal and I reach it, that's not enough. There's more. Because no one knows it all, but there's some people that could want to learn more. And me, I want more. Explore more, learn more, pray more. Like, that's who I am. And I think that's why I'm successful too. I mean, I want more. I mean, not money.
No, I get it.
Just more. Strive for more. Don't become complacent.
Well, naturally, the money will follow.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. People don't get it. Like, they're like, oh, how come you sell the houses? You charge them so little. Why are you charging 3%? You're messing it up for others. I'm like, nah, I'm not messing it up for nobody. At the end of the day, I'm doing it for if they're my friends or family, I'm going to charge you what I charge you. And then you have friends and family. Mm-hmm. They have friends and family.
Word of mouth.
Exactly.
Right.
So then at the end of the day, I help one person and I end up having 10 others. And it's all word of mouth. I mean, that's how it works for me. My business is pretty much word of mouth. The way I am able to help them out, the experience I give makes them want to call their family and have me help them. And I mean, you can just read my reviews. And if you read my reviews, they all say the same thing. They're real too.
Yeah,
There's some people.
I have one right here.
Hey,
so
you do?
Yeah, let's read
Oh
it.
my God.
So this was from 2019, November. It was from Basi, Sacramento. I don't know if I pronounced that.
Okay.
I don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but it says exceptional, outstanding, or customary vernaculars used used to denote an extraordinary individual. Oh man, I'm tongue tied right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm a little nervous, but or experience, right?
Dude, and this client was a difficult one, but I love her to death.
I want to hear about that. So this client says, when it comes to you, I mean, you had integrity, you were proficient, you had the skill, and they went on, and literally there was a second part of it that you were able to secure a 28% above price above their pre-negotiated goal, which is like 38,000 above a comparable home in the same area.
Yeah.
Dude, that's impressive, bro.
Not to mention the house was trashed.
Really?
And there was a guy living in there that, was a thug. And
Okay.
I used the right word because he said he was a thug and he had weapons and all that. We had to get the cops and everything. It was crazy. So that property, the client was from Sacramento. However, there was 13 other people on title that lived all around California.
Oh, you know what? That's not the name, huh? That's the area, Apache, or?
Yeah, that's the area.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So yeah. So with her,
This is from Facebook, actually, for the viewers and listeners.
yeah, she used her daughter's Facebook. She's an older woman.
Okay.
So she asked me, where can I leave a review? And I'm like, you can put it on Zillow. You can do on Facebook. That's where I get most of my clients, to be honest.
Okay.
Facebook. So with that deal, it was pretty much a trash house. But she was trying to sell it for like $60,000. And I'm like, no. That's not how it works.
You're like, wait a minute.
I was like, no, trust me. Yes, because of the area that it was located, doesn't mean that it's worth that much. And she's like, no, well, that's how much I think it's worth. I was like, well, I'm glad you called a professional. Let me help you. And what I did a market analysis, and I showed her based on the situation that was going on at that time. People were investors are always looking. So, flipping homes is the
It's the fad right now, right?
it is, and honestly, it is. I mean, it's funny because that. Well, I'll go back to
No,
that.
finish it. Finish it.
So with this house, she told me that she was the only person on title. It turned out there was 13 people on title, one of them being dead. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with title, but if title is not clear or if it's not right, there could be something called a cloud on title that makes it difficult to sell a home. So what I was supposed to do,
Really quick, a title is like the
Title.
owner's title. It's just like the piece of paper that says who owns the home, correct?
exactly.
Okay.
So one of the original owners, because it was one of 13, like there was 13
Wow.
people, and they were all around California.
Was this like a residential building or?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the house is the individual that purchased the house, renovated it, and we just made an offer on it yesterday.
Oh wow.
So I mean, it's kind of cool because I didn't realize that it was that house.
Okay.
So I mean, things flip really fast.
Wow.
But so yeah, so there was issues with that, and I had to do some driving because some of these people were older.
Okay.
Because they were older, they don't know how to use computers, and they were like, "Oh, well, I don't know how to do it." So I took the initiative to go to them.
Okay.
That's not something that a lot of people do,
Right.
but I was that person, and
You were determined to
dude,
sell this.
most definitely. I mean, one thing I will say, I mean, I don't care. When she wanted me to take that guy out of the property, I didn't want to do that because, I mean, I didn't own the property.
Right.
So, I mean, there's proper ways to do it. So I told her, I can't go and just tell him, hey, you got to go.
Right.
Get myself killed,
Yeah. Yeah. For reals. Especially right now.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a tough, it was all cash deal. Usually those are like anywhere from 10 to 15 days. This one took almost a month and a half because of all the people on title that we
Right.
had to go get them to sign documents, come back. It was crazy.
So how did you actually, like, okay, I'm kind of lost in, this was in Sacramento, but you're down here.
No. It was here.
Oh, this was here.
They're from Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh.
So this is what
Oh,
it is.
okay.
It was an abandoned house pretty
All right.
much. And it was 13 people on title.
Wow.
And they live in Sacramento, and they contacted me because somebody told them about me. So then, I met with them. We had lunch. We talked about what we were going to do. They gave me the amount that they wanted, and I was like, no, I have a plan. Let's do it this way.
Okay.
So I ended up listing, honestly, I listed it way, way more than what it was supposed to be worth. But I told them, look, I'm going to list it here. And because it's here, these individuals are going to be offering where we want to be, which was where we sold.
Okay.
So she's like, that's not going to work. I was like, trust me. The first day I put it on the market, dude, I had 3 different offers above what we were asking for.
Okay.
And then obviously we had some really low ones too. But then, I mean, it was a process and they were happy with it. But it was tough. It was tough because of all individuals. Usually it's me, you, and your wife, right?
Okay.
And on title. But now imagine me, you, your uncle, your aunt, their cousin, a son,
How the hell
a daughter.
were there even 13 people on title, dude? How is that even possible? You can have multiple people on title?
Yeah, you can put anyone you want. So what happened was the original owner there, the uncle to all these people, before he passed away, he wanted to leave something for all his nieces and brothers
is.
and daughters and sons.
Okay. There
So
it is.
that's what it was.
Okay.
But it was cool. I mean, it was a great experience. Like I look at everything. Anything I do is a learning experience. I mean, honestly, it was a little bit. It was tough, but these people were amazing individuals, and I love being able to help them in this situation. It was cool. Like,
No, hell yeah, dude. I mean, that's what it's about, right? That's, I mean,
yeah.
that's how you get more customers. So, I mean, I went through your reviews on Facebook.
Mhm.
I don't need to read them to know the kind of person you are. But I was just looking for little nuggets. That's the one I found. The one thing that was like super legit was like you getting it like 38,000 above the price that they
wanted $60,000, dude. We sold it for over.
So I have a kind of question about that though. How does that work though when it comes to appraising?
So since this was a cash deal, it was cash.
Oh, it's just straight.
Yeah, so when it's cash, there's no appraisals really unless the buyer wants to appraise it. So obviously, if somebody was buying, let's say, this house,
Mhm.
and they told you, hey, you know what, we're going to buy it cash, that's something that you want to jump only if the numbers are right because there's no appraisal. And usually
Okay.
you can close in 10 to 15 days, depending on title.
So it's 10 to 15 days for cash to close it.
Mm-hmm.
How many? It's 30 days, anywhere from 30 days.
30 to 45 for a regular deal.
Regular deal. Okay. So what kind of, well, like, that kind of brings me into, the next question. So interest rates, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this off camera.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rates are possibly the lowest they've been, and I don't know how long. You might know.
Well, I mean, they're pretty low, man. I mean, they haven't been this low in, years. Last year around this time, they were at like 5%.
I closed this house at 4.5.
See?
And they told me that was good.
Yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, even last year when I was helping some people, I witnessed them get a 5.7, and I mean that time we were like, oh, it's a 5.7. But now, I mean, I was talking to a lender actually 2 days ago, and they were able to offer a client a 2.8.
Wow.
Like
for 30? 30 year?
30 year. It's a 2.8, like 2.8%. Like, are you crazy? Like,
Was
you haven't seen that in years. I mean, over 10 years. Like,
well, I have a lot of friends that are thinking about refinancing.
Right now is also the time to refinance.
Okay.
Because depending on how your rate is, and I mean, how much you owe, the equity that you might have on the home, and depending on what you want to do. I mean, people refinance to bring the rate down. People refinance to cash out to pay bills. People refinance to lower their payment. So it's, different things you can do.
Do you personally recommend refinancing right now at this moment?
Honestly, yes. If you have a rate that's at 5%,
okay,
or a 4.57, you said
4.5. Hey,
you could.
That was at the at that time when we bought it. That was what it was, like the lowest. And she was telling us, like, hey, like it may go lower, it may not, because if I'm not mistaken, the rates change every day.
Dude, that's the thing. Rates fluctuate every single day. So today they might be at 2.5. Well, not 2.5, 3.5. Tomorrow they might be at 3.8. So they always change. And one of the things I always tell my clients, because they get nervous, or they stress out. Oh, I don't want my rate to change. One of the things you can do is ask the lender to lock the rate. So the lenders can lock the rate for 30 to 60 days. That means, so if you talk to the lender and he tells you, oh, it's 2.9, lock that rate, dude, because next week it could go higher, and they're capable of locking it for 30 to 60 days. So there's different options.
Is this like common knowledge? Do they tell you this, or do they just kind of like hush?
Oh, lenders?
Yeah.
No, well, they'll tell you that.
Okay.
I mean, remember, I read a lot, so
Okay.
A lot of realtors don't know this.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, one of the things I do advise to any client that is thinking about purchasing a house, when you do speak to the lender, ask them every question that you can think of. Now, if you know nothing about this, talk to someone that does know a little bit before you talk to a lender, because the lender can be talking Chinese to you, and you don't understand nothing.
That's how I felt when we first bought this
Yeah,
house, or were looking for a home.
Yeah, you need to research about it, find out what it is that you're getting yourself into, because some lenders also are like that. They just want to make a deal too, so they don't care how it's done.
If only we had more people like you in as car salesmen.
Dude, man, I don't even want to talk about.
Oh
cars.
no, I want to hear it.
Dude, no, man,
Dude,
no.
they're crooks, bro.
Dude, they are.
Straight up. It sucks, I hate, because I love supporting locals. So every time I've gone to purchase a car here, I'm not going to say which dealership, but
I already know where.
Every time I've gone, I always say I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt this time. Who knows, right? Maybe they can swing me. Every single time I end up walking out and I say, I'm going to El Cajon, or I'm going to San Diego. And it's crazy because, like, it's kind of what we said earlier. It's all about commission, or it's all about trying to make the most money off of you. But if you go to San Diego, where the demographics are different, where the whole industry is different, all they care about is getting rid of cars.
Yeah.
Literally. Because at the end of the day, when we buy a car, we're losing out regardless.
As soon as you leave,
even if you got like, oh, I got a good deal, they're still making money off you. But you will definitely get a better deal somewhere else.
It's sad to say that,
but I know. It's so sad.
But then you also have to think about where we live, where we stay. I mean, people need the money, so they try to do anything. They're struggling, so they do anything to try to make that extra money, but they don't realize that you shouldn't try to screw someone over to help yourself. But that's where we live at. That's the mentality of a lot of people.
That is the mentality,
Yeah.
especially here, and
Yeah.
it sucks, man. Like, that's one of the things that I'm constantly trying to change, especially like it and where I work in any workplace, right? All that exists, right?
Yeah.
There's people that, like we said earlier, they're looking out for themselves.
Hmm.
It's not about that, but it's so hard to convey that and have somebody understand that. I don't know, man. It kind of sucks, but
Very much.
so, like we said, interest rates are low.
Hmm.
Housing prices are high, though.
Dude, okay, so what's going on right now is that inventory is low.
Okay.
So the demand is high.
Okay.
So if you're a seller, right now is actually the time to sell. So if you're thinking about selling your house, call me. No, just kidding.
Hey.
No.
No, yeah.
No, but seriously.
Call him.
No, seriously, like right now is the time to sell. You will sell your house higher than you can think of right now because there's nothing else on the market.
What's the average as far as like sitting on the market, you would say?
Right now?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, usually it was like 2 weeks, but right now it's like a week. Like you
Okay.
bring it out and boom, it's gone. Like that same week. I mean, I've seen same day type of deal.
Are they closing quicker, or are they still the same thing, or does it really matter?
That doesn't really matter. It honestly depends who your lender is. Like I
Okay.
got a couple lenders that can close. I had a lender close a deal for me in 8 days, dude.
Okay. Wow.
Like 8 days.
8 days.
8 days.
Holy shit.
So it honestly, for that to happen, it just depends on the buyer. Like if you want the house, you do everything the lender says, it will close. But this guy closed the deal in 8 days, dude. I was like, it was FHA and everything, and I was impressed. I mean, that's the guy I use for everything, to be honest. But yeah, so if you're thinking about selling right now is the time because there's no houses, the demand is high. You put a house on the market, you get about 10 offers because there's 10 people looking for a house in Imperial right now. Right now, like for example, me, I have about I have about 10 to 15 clients that want Imperial right now for a house 230 to 260.
Okay.
So imagine if a house comes out, I got to send that house to 10 different people. And out of the 10 people, how many people think are going to tell me, "Hey, I want to see it?"
Right.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
And so it it puts you in a weird situation because there's not enough houses and there's so many clients and everybody wants to buy because you would think that they would be scared with the whole coronavirus and the economy. However, it's the total opposite. Everyone wants to buy right now. Everyone.
Would you say your business is better now than before, like COVID, or would you say it's kind of there's been a downturn, or has there been?
To be honest, dude, I don't think my business has changed.
Okay.
Like, I mean, and what I mean by that is, I mean, I've always been consistent. I try to always do like two homes a year, 2 homes a month, 2 homes a month. Try to sell, And I've been keeping up with that number, but I do see way more people now trying to buy, like messaging me, "Hey, help me. What can I do? What do I need?" And I mean, I always tell them the same thing: the 3 things that you need. Have your credit score. At least have a credit score that's 640 or above. I mean, I usually try to say 680 because the higher the credit score, the lower your payment, the lower the rate.
Okay.
If you have a lower credit score, the higher the payment, the higher the rate.
Okay.
So
credit score.
Yeah, your credit score. You have to have at least 2 years of employment.
2 years.
I mean, it doesn't have to be the same job, but it has to be the same industry. You can't be, a cook one job for a year and then be a bus driver the next year. And then the last thing is to have at least 3.5% for a down payment of the house that you're going to buy. So
3.5, you said?
3.5 at least. I mean, there's programs that you don't need it, but if you are, so if you're buying a $200,000 house, have at least $7,000 in your bank account.
Wow.
Just at least, because that's what they ask. And some banks ask for additional reserves. What that means is additional months that show that you can pay your rent. So if your payment is $1,200, you need to have additional in your reserves in your bank showing that you can pay your mortgage for 2-3 months.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of boring stuff.
No, but see, that's what I want. I kind of want to touch on that because people are gonna have some of these questions. People that are trying to get into the field, like we said, it's a fad right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna want to think that they know, but they don't really know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like especially right now, where the TV is showing like all these home improvement shows. How do you freaking deal with that kind of stuff, bro? As somebody trying to tell you how to do your job. Oh, no, I can get more out of this.
You know what? The thing for me is to I'm gonna give all the pearls, man. I'm about to give you all these pearls, but it's okay. I'm willing to share because
Don't
no.
keep what you like that's yours, but like if you can share a little bit.
No. Because I mean, you know, like that saying that says you can lead the donkey to the well, but doesn't mean they're gonna drink
Right.
from it. In other words, I mean, I could show you exactly what I do. Doesn't mean you're gonna be doing what I do because it's different. So,
Trust me, bro. They can't do what you do.
thank you. No, so I mean, going back to what I told you in the beginning, I listen to what the client says.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to them. I'm not gonna try to make them.
You're not gonna pressure them.
I don't pressure them, but I don't lie to them. I'm really real with them from the beginning. Like I'm not gonna tell if they're telling me, look, I want to buy a house. I want you to sell my house for 300,000, and their house is really worth 250. I'm not gonna sell them a lie. Like people do that.
Okay.
They're like, okay, let's do it, and the house just stays on the market for so long. And what they don't get is that the longer the house is in the market, people start to think something's wrong with it. Either something internally or something, is wrong with the house. Why hasn't it sold? Everybody's like, but it's been in the market for 30 days or 40 days, 60 days. Why hasn't it sold? Because the price is too high. So what I do with my clients is I let them know. I mean, I do the market analysis and I tell them what the price is. If they're okay with it, then we move forward. But if they're like, no, but I think it's worth more, then I say, okay, look, let's do this. Let's list it for the price that you want. But if we don't get any offers in the first 2 weeks, we got to bring the price down to what I think it's going to sell.
Okay.
But I will let you know, and I'm telling you this from the beginning because I don't want you to get upset, even if the offer gets accepted. Once the appraisal comes in, the value is going to be here because there's no other houses that sold in that area for the price that you want.
Okay.
And your house is not, it's not like there's $10,000 or more of upgrades in the house. It's a regular standard home.
Okay.
And most clients understand. I've had some clients, they're like, okay, and we'll call you back. And they're like, okay, and they don't, or they go with someone else and then they call me back. And then at that time, I'm like, look, if we're willing to do this price, I'm willing to do it. If not, I don't want to waste your time or mine because, it just affects them. If you think about it, if their house is on the market with a realtor and with another realtor and with another realtor, it just doesn't look right for them. And I like to tell them that from the beginning,
So like for somebody that wants to buy a home, because I had this experience recently, and somebody else is showing the home, but let's say I have an agent, which would be you. A lot of times I always get the feeling that whenever I interact with that person and then I let them know that I have an agent, they're just like,
TV turns off.
and then they try to like sell me that, this is not going to happen or this can happen. All that's kind of stuff. Like, what do you got to say about that, bro?
It's a doggy dog type of industry. So a lot of realtors, when they see a client, they're like, oh, all for it. And then when you tell them, oh, well, I'm being represented by so-and-so, it shows you that they don't love what they do. Because if they did, it doesn't matter that you're working with somebody else. You would still give them that advice because that's what we are. We're experts in our field. And we're here to educate our clients, our buyers, or other buyers. Because you never know. The fact that you have an agent and I was able to explain something to you a certain way will make you come back to me. I've experienced that too, where
For sure.
where I've had some clients.
Chemistry.
No, yeah, dude. But the thing about it is that I have some clients that are with other realtors. They meet me, we interact. I let them know how it goes. They call me back. They sell with me or they buy with me, and then the realtors find out. And they get upset, and I'm like, well, why are you upset with me? I don't know. I don't ask them, who's your agent? Oh, okay, let me call them. No. Now, if they freely tell me, like, hey, I'm working with this person, then I call that agent. Because, I'm not going to...
Out of respect.
Out of respect, yeah. And, but one of the things I always ask is, like, are you being represented by somebody? If they say no, I'm not going to go and ask them, are you sure? 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 No, and I've had that situation where...
People lie to you.
Yeah. Well, of course they tell me no. I'm not dealing with anyone, and I'm not gonna tell them you're lying. I'm
just to see if they can get a better deal or what.
Well, it's because, honestly, I don't know. But I had that situation recently where, I was helping a client out. This was 2017. They just bought last year.
Okay.
With me.
Okay.
They so what happens is when you're looking online, you go on Zillow or whatever, and then you ask for information, and agents automatically, I guess whoever pays that promotion gets an email or a text. So then you're talking to these clients that potentially have other agents. So I had a situation where this client had, well, I was dealing with them before, but then they started talking to somebody else, and they opened escrow with somebody else, and the deal didn't go through because he was being charged way too much. Okay. So when they called me, he's like, "Hey, I'm being charged this much. What do you think?" I was like, "Well, the question is, how do you feel about it?" "Well, I'm not too excited about it." I was like, "Well, you always got to think about it. This is a house, not a car. You have to love the house. If you love the house, then and you're okay with the payment, go for it." It turned out that they didn't like the house. They didn't want the house. They ended up canceling. Yeah, dude.
I'm getting flashbacks, bro.
Dude, they canceled. And the thing about it is, a couple months later, he contacted me. I sold him a house. I was able to give him like $7,500 in closing costs, a refrigerator, washer, and dryer.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, I mean, it was an amazing deal. And that agent contacted me, and he said all kinds of stuff. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I found out later on that my client was dealing with that agent, but I found out through that client, not through the agent, but the agent called me, and I was just like, "Dude, what are you talking about?" He was upset, but it was like, okay. I mean,
It's not your fault, man.
You can't be mad. Like, if you lose a client, hey, there's something that you're not doing right. Because first off, the clients are not yours. Buyers don't belong to us. We're here to help. So if you do your job, the client's gonna be there. But if you're not doing something, obviously someone else will, and you weren't able to provide what that buyer needed at the moment. And that's what I always tell people. Like, now I don't get calls from other agents telling me, "Hey, you stole my client." I don't steal anything. First off, no client is nobody's. They have a mind of their own. They know what they want. So,
hey,
it gets
they're
tough.
Just haters, bro.
Dude, and to be honest with you, yeah, that's the right word. I don't like to call anybody out, but dude, it's tough. Like, when people see you doing well, they want to just hate on you, or they want to say, "Oh, this or that," but they're not putting in the work that you are putting in. People don't get that. People just think like, "Oh, well, he's doing this or he's doing that." You don't even know what I do, and I'm not gonna tell you what I do, but what works for me will not necessarily work for you.
Yeah, and touching on that, we said earlier, right? You said a lot of people like to do. They see somebody succeeding in something, and they're like, "Oh, I can do that. If they're doing it, I can do it." Right? So I'm guilty of that. I hit you up because I was going through. It happened earlier this year. I was going through some personal issues where I felt like I needed an out. I was like, I don't know. I was burnt out. I wanted a career change, and I've invested 6-7 years already into this, and it's a very rewarding job. I will admit that I didn't initially go into it like wanting to do it. It was more, I felt like it was more of my only option, my last resort.
That's normal out here. That's very normal.
And that's the truth. That's how I ended up in this job. But then, like yourself, I'm a grinder. There's a lot of people that didn't necessarily believe in me, didn't think I would make it, and I talked about this in the episode with Alfonso. I took it upon myself where I definitely wanted to prove them wrong, but I wanted to prove that I'm the person that I say I am.
Exactly.
And like that's the one thing I wanted. It took me a while to understand, because I always said, I didn't care about what they thought. I just cared about what I thought. But truthfully, deep down, I did care what certain people in my field thought. Because there's certain people that you hold in high regard, right? You respect their opinions, but sometimes people are wrong.
Dude, not sometimes, a lot of times.
Okay, there you go. A lot of times people are completely wrong. And so when I'm guilty of hitting you up because I saw how successful, how happy you were, and I thought, hell, like I feel like we're similar. Obviously, you're more easygoing. You're a lot more charismatic. You can talk way easier. you just get you've been doing this. How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. Oh damn, dude, you're only 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought when I met you, dude, I thought you were like 5 years older.
Dude, no.
You acted like you were 5 years older, bro.
A lot of my friends are older than me, so oh no, I'm 31. I'm gonna be 32 this year.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be 29, so.
Yeah. I'm 3 years older than you.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of my friends have always been older. I don't know. They say I'm like a young guy with an old soul, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I like to surround myself around people that teach me stuff because you want to be around people that you're going to learn from.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the things I've learned at a young age was nobody can stop you but you. Meaning, no matter what the naysayers say or your fellow coworkers at that time that, didn't believe in you, it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, even if you were doing it, they still don't believe in you, dude. Even the people that you think are there for you
You're not wrong.
are not there for you, dude. I've learned that. Trust me. And I mean, but that shouldn't stop you. One of the things that I do is like I don't care what anybody says. I do what's best for me and for those around me and for those that I care about. I mean, dude, you could be the most successful man in the world and someone's still not gonna believe in you. Someone's still gonna find something wrong about you.
To hate on,
Yeah, dude. But I mean, the thing that I do too, I don't entertain it. I don't give it life to like negativity. I don't give life to it. Like, but trust me, sometimes I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause I mean, I'm human. Like, I want to address certain things, but then I'm like, dude, there's no point to give life to something that doesn't matter. People are there hating on you. They're just mad because they want to be where you're at. They can't figure it out. So the only thing they can do is be negative about it, But one of the things that, I wrote on my Instagram is like, we rise by lifting others. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I go by. Like, I go by that. Like, I get a sense of satisfaction seeing growth in the people that I care about. Even you, like, I would never, ever imagine you being in front of a camera. Like, but I see the growth in you. Like, it's amazing. Like, to me, that is a sense of satisfaction for me because I've known you since you were 17.
Yeah, I was that kid that didn't want to talk.
Yeah,
man.
dude, you're a shy one, man, and like now to see you, I'm proud of you.
I appreciate that.
I really am, and
I'm proud of you, bro.
I'm not doing nothing.
No, man, because I'm not slighting retail.
Mm-hmm.
But retail is cutthroat, bro.
Dude,
like,
retail was
it burns you out, bro. Like,
dude.
And there's so much negative. In any job there's negativity, right?
No, that job, but retail was.
It's really bad,
mm-hmm.
and firsthand as
mm-hmm.
being a manager, right? You manage coach in Calexico.
Dude, that
how
store,
cutthroat was that?
Dude, that store, honestly, I love the brand. I'm never gonna talk bad about the brand, but just some of the individuals, not all. Like, they were older and they would just talk about each other. They would fight for sales. The leadership in that store, and I'm talking about my boss at the time, straight up told me that I was never going to grow in that company. Like, straight up, while I was still running.
Weren't you recruited by that company?
Yeah. But that's why I left. Like, I left because there was some weird stuff going on. I kind of know where it was going or why this was happening.
Okay.
I didn't fit a certain.
Maybe I'm getting what you're putting off.
Yeah, right now. I didn't fit a certain part of
a vision.
Vision. Yeah, okay. Maybe I wasn't
a certain appearance.
Certain appearance.
Okay.
And I was doing stuff for my boss at the time because he was my district manager and he had me doing things for the district. But, we had countless conversations where he said, I have a conversation by him that he said literally that I was never going to grow in that company. And I asked him why. Like, what is it? And, I ended up...
He didn't have the balls to tell you, bro.
Dude.
He did not have the balls to tell you.
Dude, but we all know what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I'm just glad that I was able to meet him and see the type of leadership that, I was... given because of him, I am where I'm at now. I was able to just walk out from it. Like, literally, dude, one day, he was there. I showed up to work, and I was just over all the nonsense because the employees were fighting, and you're the manager, so everything reflects on you in a way. So,
sometimes undeservedly so.
Yeah, no, most definitely, dude. And it's just one of the things where, like, it just got to the point where I was sick all the time. I had stomach issues because it was stress. It was so stressful. That environment was a toxic environment full of people that just were so... Dude, they were... I mean, it was. I mean, I can't even. It was just a toxic environment full of duplicitous individuals there, dude.
That's how I
Like,
left Zoomies.
dude. Oh well, imagine Zoomies times 10, bro.
Zoomies was toxic.
Dude, times 10. Like, when people think, oh, everybody dresses nice there. No, bro. Like, it was. That's why I quit. That same day that I quit, the next day I bought my car. I felt liberated when I walked out, dude. Like, I walked out liberated because I felt like, you know, tons of weight was just lifted off my shoulders. And people were like, why would you quit? Like, what are you doing? You make so much money there. Dude, I don't care about how much money I'm making. My health, mentally, physically, is more important than any dollar
bro.
or anything. And if I was still there, dude, I think I would be pretty sick.
For sure.
You know? And, I mean, having your leader,
You
your
would be
boss,
unhappy, bro.
dude, I was so unhappy. And everybody was like, hey, you know, we can see the difference. And, like, it's funny how everything happened. I would pray about it, dude. I would be like, God, take me out. You know? And one day I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. And literally from that day to, like, 2 weeks later, I started working for a mortgage company as office manager.
Okay.
And, I mean, I was just like, I knew the guy. I was like, okay.
So you had no real intention of going into retail, or was that
Real estate? No,
or,
like
I'm sorry, real estate.
It was just. I mean, it was just like I was done. Matter of fact, I was getting ready to take another position for H&M.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like that store.
They were hiring, and I was just like, you know what? I passed all the interviews. I spoke to the recruiter. It looked like it was gonna happen. They were looking for a store manager at the time, and I was just like, okay, I can do it. But then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this anymore. Like, retail is not for me. Like, the crazy hours, you know, the crazy employees. It's not.
The
drama, unnecessary drama. It's like kids. But so I ran into this and I got into it. My broker now at the time, he's like, hey, you know, you come from, you know, retail, you know about clients, you know, let me show you how to do the back work of it. So I was a transaction coordinator, so I was doing all the paperwork for real estate, because that company also has a real estate company. Mm-hmm. So I was working at a mortgage company, and that real estate company that was in that same building, I would, you know, talk to the agents, and they're like, hey, you know, what did you do before? And before I was an operations manager too, so I like numbers, I like dealing with paperwork. So I was like, you know what, let me do this for you while I was still doing my office management. Mm-hmm. So I was doing 2 things at a time, and then I got the hang of it. And then my sister, who was also a realtor, she's like, hey, why don't you take the test or become a realtor? I mean, you know the paperwork already. I'm like, nah, it's not what I want. You know, I don't want to do that. But you're good with people. I was like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. So somehow she got me to do it. I studied for the test. I passed the test. I was a realtor. So, I mean, that's how it started. But before I became a realtor, because I worked at the mortgage company, I was told that I should try to get my notary public license to become a signing agent. And I was just
but
like,
it's not required, right?
No. That's just another certificate that I have that I need to.
You said by signing agent, that means what exactly?
So, you know, when you buy a house, you know, the person that signs you, the notary.
Okay.
So a signing agent is an agent that works for title companies.
Okay.
Or, I mean, yeah, pretty much just title companies or attorneys too. But, and what they do, they sign clients all day. Like, they'll call you, hey, we have a signing, can you come sign? Yeah, they pay you like $250 per the signing.
Okay.
So, I mean, I thought like, oh, I can do this. I mean, $200 a day.
That's not,
a
yeah.
week. I mean,
it sounds good.
Sounds pretty good. No, dude, it's really good.
Okay.
But once I got into that, I got my license in that. I also got my license in real estate, and it's a conflict of interest type of deal. So literally, I have my notary public just to sign friends, family, or anyone that needs it. I don't really promote
not
it.
Involved with real estate.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it could be done, but I don't promote it as much.
Okay.
Because I mean, I'm not a signing agent. That I didn't get to do that.
Okay.
But I do have my notary public license, so I can, if you needed something notarized, I could notarize it for you.
Oh, all right.
So a lot of my friends, I mean, if they're COs or they work for the U.S. Customs, they usually need documents signed for their TSPs and things like that, which are savings accounts.
Oh, okay.
So they'll call me like, hey, or some of my friends for school, I guess they need, the teachers or the schools are asking parents to notarize some document. I don't know.
Yeah.
So many things, but So yeah, so I got that just to try to do more,
Hmm.
you know. But one thing I didn't want to do was I don't want to be um, a jack of all trades but a master of none, you know.
Oh yeah, I understand what you mean by
So I was
that.
like, you know what? Yeah, I can do a lot, but I'm not a master in any. So let me focus on what I like.
Hmm.
Oh, real estate. I started doing it, and dude, I love it. Like, I mean, I realized this is something that I was meant to do. Like, when it comes so easy, so smooth.
Hmm.
I mean, my time. I mean, I build my own schedule. I work when I want to work. Yeah, I'm a little busy sometimes, but I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work. You know?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And even then, though, I'm sure there's times where you're not even feeling it, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're all human, man. I'm not happy all day, every day. We
Especially
all,
when you're dealing with
the,
customers, right?
well,
Or
you know what?
clients.
Well, thank God that most of my buyers are great. Yeah, I've had one or two tough ones, you know. But even then, they'll never. I mean, I don't think you'll ever find a client that's gonna tell you, "Oh, he was horrible. He did this, or he treated me bad." Like it's kind of weird. It's kind of like I turn it on at all times, and I mean, it, I kind of like one of the things I like to do is make sure that if I'm having a bad day, you're not gonna know. I don't think it's something that anybody should know. You should always be able to, you know, to project positive energy at all times. I mean, even if you're, I mean, we're not robots. I get it. We might have a bad day, but we need to try to make sure that you always watch who's around you, who's watching you, because you never know. Like one bad move can
Destroy your
potentially, yeah,
career.
it could. I mean, it could. So, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that. They take it out on clients. I've had situations where they take it out on clients, and I'm like, dude, take a day off.
Mm,
You know, like this is your job. This is your career. Like, take care of it. You know.
for sure.
So,
Down, dude. Yeah, and that kind of goes in line with how you said earlier, right? You're always posting motivational, some inspirational posts,
mhm.
pictures, words of encouragement. Why is that so important for you, man?
Because you never know what someone's going through, but one thing that they need to know that bad days are meant to be there so you can appreciate the good days. Like nobody in this world has good days every single day, but you can't let the bad days keep you down. They're there to teach you. So if you're having a bad day or you're having a bad situation, learn from it. Now, if you're not learning from that situation, something's wrong with you. And what I mean by that is like we all go through tough times. And I believe that tough times happen to teach us something. So if you're going through this situation and you're not learning from it, something is wrong with you. Like you need to try to find out what it is that you need to learn. Like that's why people keep making the same mistakes. Like you shouldn't make it happens. You shouldn't make the same mistake twice, but it happens.
Hmm.
But you need to learn why that mistake happened. What are you doing wrong that's causing this to continue to happen? And with me, I mean, I try to motivate others because, I mean, like I said, I get a sense of satisfaction in seeing growth in others. So being able to help just one person is good enough for me. And I mean, that's what we need. I mean, as corny as it sounds, this is what the world needs.
No,
You know?
especially right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is the part where it gets a little more serious, right?
Mhm.
So, you're black, dude. You're half black, half Mexican.
Yes.
You know, uh, just give us your take on what's going on right now.
Well, I mean, it's tough, but it's always been tough. It's just the thing is that nowadays there's cameras recording what actually goes on. And forever, I've seen situations. I've been in situations. Luckily, I've never been beat, which is great, right?
Right.
Or I mean, never been in a situation where I've been arrested or tossed or anything like that. But I mean, we've all had situations, and basically just because of what I look like or the color of my skin
Hmm.
or what I'm wearing. Like, it's funny because I like to be in a suit. I feel like when you're in a suit and you're a black man, they respect you because you're a black man in a suit.
Right.
Um, they still fear you for whatever reasons, but they respect you in a way than a man that's just in a t-shirt and jeans that gets automatically you become a target. We're always going to be a target. And I feel like we've always going to be, and this is not going to change unless we educate our kids because honestly, I do believe it's true what they say. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. A lot of these cops that are doing these things, I mean, they're older men that weren't taught right, obviously. And I mean, you should teach your kids that it's not what the individual looks like, but what the individual does. And it's unfortunate, dude. Like, honestly, I'm just happy that, I mean, I hope that there is change, but I know it's not going to happen overnight. You know, I'm all for all the protesting, the peaceful protesting. I'm not for the looting or the rioting. However, I have seen videos where it's not even black people that are doing it. But that's another topic, I guess we would talk about. But I mean, it's just unfortunate that in this day of age that we're still experiencing things that people fought 40 to 50 years ago, and we're still experiencing it. And it's sad that if that individual that recorded that incident wasn't recording, none of this would even be a topic. It would just be another dead African American in a city where I'm sure the cops would have said, oh, he was being resistant and we had to do what we had to do, and that's it. But that just one story, imagine how many more, not just African American, also Latinos. Let's be real, because we get, I mean, I'm glad that I get to experience both sides of the story, right? But, like, imagine how many more people are out there that didn't have that video recording.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's tons. I mean, there's tons of people that have died in the hands of an officer. And, I mean, but nobody was watching, But, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, and so one of my, if you allow me.
Yeah, of course.
Because on social media, I've posted a couple things, but I was very, like, measured in posting because, like, I posted the black square. Some people gave me grief about it because they were saying, like, oh, what does that do? And it's not about that. It's not about, like, what does it do. It's more to show that with you and another black man that I know that I used to work with, it's to show that I stand with you guys. It's to show that at the end of the day, let's be real. All lives matter.
All lives matter.
But right now, the black community is hurting. And the best example that I've heard so far was that, there's 10 houses, right? But one house is burning, and the firemen or whatever, they're going to that house, and somebody says, hey, wait, but what about my house? They're like, sure, but your house is okay right now. Let me go put the fire out at that other house. And then, at the same time, I'm going to try to protect your house, but let me help those people first. And I feel like that's the problem that people do not understand, that when they're quick to say all lives matter, but we know that, especially you being a Christian man, that's something that's been instilled in you since you were a kid. So like you, I don't agree with the looting. I do agree with protesting peacefully. I may not necessarily agree with rioting, but at the same time, I understand. Yeah. Because you guys have been silenced for so long. And there's been peaceful protests before.
And you've seen what happened to those.
Yeah, and I watch football. I'm a big football fan. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, I'm not kidding, dude. I had no problem with it because I knew that it was never about the flag. It was about police brutality. It was about the injustices towards people of color, right? And police brutality, it doesn't matter what color you are. Exactly. In general, it's just in police brutality. But a lot of us can easily see people of color are targeted, especially black people. And personally, like I said, I don't agree with the looting or the rioting necessarily, but rioting was the next logical step after peaceful protests. After the peaceful protests clearly were not working, what do you expect people to do? Are they going to stay quiet? No, heck no. They're going to do what they feel in their mind. Oh, I need to do this. And so I don't agree with certain things, but that doesn't mean I don't support because a lot of people condemn you if you say, "Oh, you're focusing on the looting and you're complaining about that, but you're not focusing on the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's like, nah, that's not it. Like I like I said, I fully support it. But I've seen videos where people are throwing bricks, like actual bricks, at fire trucks.
Yeah.
Like I think that's so. I think it's
Disrespectful to me.
disrespectful. It's egregious. Like it's infuriating,
Very.
especially in the field that I work. You know, like if somebody's going to help somebody, why the hell are you doing that? And so that I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say, like, I stand with you. You're my brother. A lot of us stand with you. My friend stands with you. He's been posting a lot. I've voted on several petitions. I have yet to donate, because I wanted to ask you, like, which places you recommend to donate.
Okay.
The reason why I'm a little hesitant on donating is because I want to make sure the money's actually going to the right person or to the right people.
And that's the thing too. I mean, there is a lot of great organizations, but it just depends. It just gets kind of tough in that situation, to be honest.
It's like a little cloudy, right?
Yeah, and it kind of like you don't want to say which one you shouldn't kind of do, because then you can get condemned.
But I mean,
what about, but it's just one of those things where
I was always hesitant because of my dad. He had cancer, and I never really felt like the cancer research center did anything for my dad.
Exactly.
So that's my hesitation towards donating. But I'm all about sharing and voting. I feel like that's something that as a community we do definitely need to do, and it's definitely something that a lot of people don't really give a shit about.
They don't. But one of the things too, like, it's funny because you talked about all lives matter. You brought that up, how people get upset. They're like, oh, why are you saying that? It's about black people right now. Black lives matter right now. Like you said, it's true. But isn't it sad that we have to use colors?
It is. It really is.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, it's unfortunate that it's something that continues to happen. And that's why we're using right now that Black Lives Matter, because we're the ones being affected. But in reality, I never been offended when someone says, "Oh, all lives matter." What does offend me is when I see a Caucasian individual that says, "All lives matter." Plus, I have a black friend. So I'm not racist. When they use the black friend to validate that you're not a racist, that shows you're a racist. Like, that shouldn't ever come out your mouth.
Okay.
You shouldn't try to say that because you have black friends or you're associated with black people, that doesn't make you a racist. It actually makes you sound more like a racist by you even acknowledging that, saying that, oh, well, I have a black friend. How can I be racist? I mean, who's out there? I'm not out there saying I have Mexican friends.
What's the point of it, right?
Yeah, I have friends. So there should never be a color, and that's the thing I'm seeing a lot now. And I mean, even for my business, I'm black. I'm never gonna say I'm not.
Right.
I'm never gonna.
You're proud.
I'm a proud black man, and I mean, I'm gonna be black to the day I die. That's never gonna change. But like, there's some people that I know that don't want to post certain things or don't want to say anything. They want to stay quiet because they don't want, their business to be affected.
The backlash.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, you're staying quiet for what? Like, so does that mean that you really don't agree with what's going on right now? And I mean, it's unfortunate, man. I've seen a lot of situations right now where so-called friends or so-called acquaintances, you get to see the real colors. Like right now, this time is where you get to see the real colors.
For sure. Yeah. Amen, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty bad, man. But I mean, I'm just hoping for change. I'm hoping that all these protesting and, I mean, even these riots, like you said, to an extent. Like, I mean, I'm not for you breaking your own city or.
I'm not for that
like,
either.
Dude, like, man, like I just don't understand that. There's other ways to do it.
Yeah, there's definitely other ways to do it, but we can all agree for sure that the media is the one reason why this is the way it is. Because literally it's they're trying to make it a race war when it's not a race war. It's a war on racist. And that's somebody that I just started following. He wrote that. It's a white guy. And he said that this is not a race war. It's not supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be a war on racists. And clearly it's 2020. You said it. How the hell are we still like thinking this way? I mean, it's mind blowing, right? Like,
Dude, it really is. Like, it just makes you think what's going to happen in 20 years from now. Where are we going to be at then? Are we still going to be with the same narrative? Is there going to be change? I mean, is this all for nothing? I mean, it's one of those things where, yeah, the officers got charged. Great. But what about all the other officers that
yeah,
have
what
committed
about
that?
for Breonna Taylor?
Yeah.
For Ahmaud Arbery?
Dude, Breonna Taylor, man, she got killed at her house.
She was asleep.
Dude, how do you get...
She was an EMT.
Dude, yeah, she was outstanding individual. Let's be real. I mean, they can't...
Bro, she comes from my field, you know?
Exactly. So you imagine, so you don't hear, I mean, one of the things that they try to justify is, Floyd was a criminal or
That's
whatever.
besides the
Dude,
point.
it doesn't matter if he was a criminal or if he was a saint. His life was taken.
And he did not deserve to die.
Exactly. No life should be taken in the hands of nobody. Like that's not you can't do that. But people try to justify, well, he was a criminal. It doesn't matter if he was a criminal. It doesn't matter what he was.
And it doesn't matter,
It doesn't matter
if he was white.
If he was white, black, green, it doesn't matter. You can't justify that a man was murdered by literally. I mean, I saw a different video from a different angle where there was 3 officers.
There's 3
on
officers
him.
holding him down.
Yeah.
And then the one on his neck.
On his neck. But dude,
he was handcuffed.
He was exactly. I mean, I get it.
No, he wasn't gonna do anything though.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? It's things like that that makes you think like, come on, when is it gonna stop? And I mean, Breonna Taylor, that one was sad,
that one
dude.
bothered me.
I mean, because she was an outstanding individual. Not saying that the others aren't, but let's be real, dude. Like she was murdered at home,
asleep,
because
and it was a wrong house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So does that mean I'm gonna get murdered at my house because it happened to be the wrong house?
And they just reopened the case, by the way.
Thank God, dude. And then I don't want to talk about races or anything like this, but in Minnesota, was it in Minnesota where the guys had the guns?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
I don't know where, but where they were peacefully.
I think it was Minnesota.
Where they were peacefully protesting
with guns.
With guns, right? And then somebody told them, "Oh, they're good people, right?" Our leader told them.
Outstanding individual, dude. Okay, let's be realistic. If those guys were any other color,
oh yeah,
with guns, what do you think would happen? Let's be realistic.
Definitely wouldn't have gone down the same way,
dude. I mean, just thinking about, and it makes me think about all this stuff. And I don't like to get political or get too much into it, but like even the what if those. My mind just went blank.
No, it's all good.
The shooters, what's his name? Ruff or Doug? You know, the guy that went inside a church and shot up all those 9.
It was a white guy, right?
It was a white guy.
Uh-huh.
Did you see how they treated him?
Oh, is it the one where they bought him Burger King?
Yes, I just can't think of his name.
Yeah, I just heard it earlier today.
So, dude, him, a mass shooter. I mean, I guess you would say a mass shooter. He killed 9 people. It's still bad. You know, I mean, taking one life is bad.
Yeah.
But they didn't treat him like they treated a man that had a fake $20 bill.
That's the, oh my God, that's the part where it's like, it's a joke. I mean, it's a joke.
The guy just blasted 9 people at a church.
And he was like escorted like gently, you know.
Yeah. So that's the stuff that bothers me.
Oh.
And it makes me think like, okay, so basically if I was to do something like that, not that I would, right, be out there protesting with guns,
right?
What would happen? What would be the scenario if those individuals were actually African American, Latinos, any other race besides white?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it just makes you think, and that's where it tells us, we have to do better. Like, we have to do better.
We do. And we have to educate ourselves, like you said. We have to talk to those. If we don't understand the situation, we have to,
I want to know what the name is. I don't know what.
If you want, you can look it up real quick.
But it's just one of the things where, dude, it's.
Dude, I saw this. I shared this video on my Instagram. I don't know if you were able to watch it. It was about a Providence firefighter. He was black, and he. Dude, it was so he was legit, like in full uniform with the radio in his hand. I guess he was in a car with somebody, a female, and dude, he got profiled for sure. Because if you watch that video, like there was a cop that came out and they were like holding guns to him, and he's like, I'm a firefighter. I'm one of you, and he starts crying while he's being interviewed in the story. You know, he's telling this to a reporter, and he's like, I'm a firefighter for for the city. I'm one of you. I'm one of you. And they legit pulled a gun on him, and they were like, and they were cops, and he was in uniform.
Dude, and I just saw another one actually where the individual was out eating at a restaurant or out at I'm not sure if it was like a cafe or whatever. It was a black gentleman in a red shirt. He ended up being an FBI agent. And the officers just came up to him and said, please stand up. And the guy was like, no, why? Please stand up. You're under arrest. What do you mean? Why are you detaining me? What is your reasoning before? And he's like, oh, because we are detaining you. And he's like, well, get my license. Get my license. They didn't want to get the license. They started grabbing him. And then once they had him, detained and they took the license out, they found he was a federal FBI agent.
Right.
And, obviously everything changed, But
what happened at the end of that?
Well, they let him go there.
No, but he didn't try to like file a lawsuit against him?
Oh, no, he's actually supposed to.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't followed up with that, but yeah, like it just shows you just because you might look like someone, like how do you just look like someone? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not because you look; you're black. I mean, because we're black,
right?
And we all look the same, like they say, and unfortunately, that's what they say.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Sorry to get you riled up all there.
Yeah,
but it's something that for me, when I saw that video too, and when I've seen the whole George Floyd and especially the Breonna Taylor and the Ahmaud Arbery, it sucks, man. It's a joke. It's clear that our system is corrupt. But I'll tell you this, dude. I wanted to end it on this. I'm not, and I'm sure you would agree. My brother's in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have friends or even family that are in law enforcement. Not every cop is a bad cop. However, the system itself is definitely in need of change.
Yeah.
The trainings are not they're not being done right. The accountability that holding these officers accountable, that needs to change. The legal system needs to step it up, because it's clear that a lot of these guys, they get paid leave for a month or two, and then they're back to work.
And nothing happens.
The officer that killed George Floyd, he had a bunch of like marks on his record for the same thing.
Exactly. And nothing was done.
Yeah.
But, going off what you just said, not all white people are racist. Not all black people are criminals. I saw something online.
Yeah.
Not all cops are dirty. Not all cops are going to do this. There's some great cops out there.
But we need more cops to step up and speak out against it. That I'm 100% about.
Like, I mean, even watching that video, that other officer that he got arrested as well. I don't even know his name. Officer, he was standing. The Oriental
Asian
guy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Oriental is the right word.
Okay.
Or Asian. Let's say Asian.
Yeah.
The Asian, like he could have said something. He could have stopped it. Like I've seen videos
that
online.
That guy also had stuff on his record too.
Yeah, that's why he got arrested. But I saw videos online of other officers saying like, if I was standing there and I see my partner doing something that is not right, you best believe I'm gonna come in and say something.
That's good.
Because that's how it should be. Like you can't just stand there and watch someone die in front of you. Like
heck no. Even me, I would definitely not just record. You know what I mean,
dude? And that's what I was thinking. If I was there, what would I've done? It's
scary.
Yeah, because it makes you think. Like, would you approach the officer? But you can't. You get arrested,
or you get shot,
or you get killed.
Yeah,
you get killed. So there's nothing you can really do.
I guess the good thing is at least somebody recorded it, right? At least.
Yeah,
there definitely could have been done more, like.
I mean, but what can you do? Like, besides the recording, that's all you can do. It's just a very sad situation, man, and I hope that there is change from all of this. I mean, this man lost his life through some unprofessional individuals. If you think about it, they weren't trained correctly, or who knows? I mean, I've
fired, bro, when they should have been fired,
dude. And then because I follow everything, I've been reading stuff.
Me too. I've been reading a lot.
Like they knew each other at one time.
Oh yeah, that they
dude. So what?
Yeah. Well, dude, there's even more like rabbit hole type things, like some conspiracies on it. I don't know if you followed anything on that.
I mean,
I'm not trying to take away from the attention of the killing, so that's why I'm focusing on that. But dude, yeah, there's some things that I've seen that I'm like, whoa.
it make you say, huh?
Huh?
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh my goodness.
Well, dude, I really want to thank you again for doing this episode with me. I really appreciate it. You've always been a supporter of mine. It sucks, the situation right now for you as a black individual. But just know that my wife, and myself, even my family, because I talked to my dad about it, and he's all about it. We're all about supporting you guys, and because we're people of color ourselves,
Of course.
and I may have never truly experienced racism, like maybe in microdoses, but it's like almost embarrassing to even mention. But I mean,
racism is racism. Doesn't matter
but
the level of it.
Right.
You have to remember that, because people think that people tend to say, "Oh, well, it wasn't that bad." No, racism is bad. You can't say that this is worse than the other. Racism is bad in all levels.
Racism is bad for sure.
Yeah,
On all
I mean,
levels.
even
no matter what color, creed, ethnicity.
no matter, it's bad. I mean, and people try to say, "Well, for me, I mean, it wasn't that bad." No, that's the thing people don't understand. Racism is bad in all measures, even if it's small. It's bad.
Right.
That shouldn't. I mean, it's bad.
I guess I'll rephrase. I never experienced it blatantly. Not like yourself, and I may never experience it, right? And some people, especially some Mexicans who are lighter skinned, they may never experience it. But anyways, dude, thank you again. This was awesome. I feel like we had some good conversation. I don't know if you realized, but we already talked for more than like an hour and 30 minutes.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kind of flew. But dude, I thank you. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Victor Connor. He's a realtor. He works for iRealty. We can contact you on Facebook. What other platforms are you?
You can find me on Facebook. So it's Facebook/Victor Connor Realtor. On Instagram, The Real Danny Connor. On my website, actually, iRealty.org. Anything you need, I'm there. I'm actually very happy that you had me on your show. I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you, bro. I'm proud of you, bro.
It's refreshing to see where you're at now. Not that, I mean, just seeing the difference, because I've known you since I can say a kid.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a couple years older than you,
you're
a kid. You're different, shy, and now in front of the camera, your own podcast, which is pretty amazing. And I just wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about myself, because that's not something I ever do. Like, I brag about my clients, never about me. So it's kind of different.
I'm trying to brag about you.
I know, but it's just
I'm trying to brag about Alfonso, like all you guys. That's my goal. Brag about you guys.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's awesome, and I want to just thank you for having me.
No, yeah,
and
I appreciate it. So you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. This is in regards to myself. This is Danny Connor, Victor Connor. I'm Jesus. Thank you. We're out.
Take care.